In part one of Rules of the Road yesterday, we showed you all the ways Indiana's current moped laws is falling behind. Today in part two, News 18 This Morning looks at the new law going into effect January 1st to see what changes and what stays the same.
Ron Jones knows a thing or two about the rule of law. About 9 years ago, he pled guilty on drug charges, spent some time in prison, and is trying to get his life back on track.
I've learned by my mistakes, okay, and I believe that every person should have a chance to make himself better.
For Jones, that means a job, which he has, and a way to get there, a moped, which is the only vehicle he can legally drive.
How else would you get to work if you didn't have the moped?
Yeah, that's...
You wouldn't be able to?
Yeah, we'd have to try to count on rides, and that's not always feasible, you know. Sometimes it don't work out.
Lafayette police officer Mark Roberts says he doesn't have a problem with mopeds, but the current law governing them has some holes.
When you don't have license plates on them, and you don't have insurance on them, and you have unlicensed drivers driving them, that just creates problems.
And these problems aren't new, according to Tippecanoe County Prosecutor Pat Harrington.
I think most people in the criminal justice system has been asking it to be looked at for at least a decade or more.
After years of failed attempts at a new law, Governor Mike Pence signed House Bill 1343 on March 27th. It passed 81-14 in the House and a narrow 26-22 in the Senate. Every legislator from Greater Lafayette voted for it, including State Senator Brant Hirschman.
There's been a growing realization at the General Assembly that there was a need to update the law to reflect these changes in technology and the mix of traffic on the highways.
On January 1st of 2015, moped riders will be subject to a whole new set of regulations, starting with this.
An MDCB motorist will be issued a white plate with red lettering.
For the first time in the state's history, the common 50cc moped, called MDCBs in the new law, will have a license plate. And though it's called a license plate, riders still don't need a license. Instead, they'll have a state ID card with a moped endorsement, similar to what motorcycle riders have. Josh Gillespie is Deputy Commissioner of Communications with the Indiana Bureau of Motor Vehicles.
With MDCB, you will also have to take a basic test to get the endorsement.
What's on that test?
We're still in the process of putting it together, but we believe it'll be about 25 questions. It'll mostly focus on signs.
I think it's a really good thing because there's so many people out there that are riding that have never rode, and they have, you know, no clue what they're putting themselves in danger and other people in danger.
For all the new law does, the test, the license plates, and other regulations, it still might have missed a very small but important group of riders.
It's these people who've lost their license for life that continue to disobey the law. I mean, they're going to disobey it on a moped just like they did in a car, and those are the ones you have to focus on. And just because I write them a ticket, there's nothing that says that person's going to pay that ticket, because what are they going to do, get their license suspended even longer than life?
On top of that, the new law still does not require insurance for most mopeds. Other states address these concerns by essentially saying if you don't have a license, you don't have a place on the road. State Senator Hirschman thinks penalizing everyone who has lost their license just because a few continue to break the law is wrong.
We looked at the surrounding states, Illinois, Ohio, Kentucky, Michigan. All of them prohibit offenders who have lost their license to drive anything at all. Why should Indiana be any different?
That's a hard thing to look at someone and say, no, you can't drive anything ever, and we don't know how you're going to earn a living, and we don't care.
The kind of person Hirschman is referring to is someone who admits their mistakes, serves their punishment, and looks for a way to start over. In a lot of ways, that person is Ron Jones.
You need this moped to make yourself better by going to work. I think you should be allowed to do that, because otherwise you're just holding that said person down. How is he ever going to get better if you don't give him the chance to do this?
You need that chance.
Yes.
And maybe you've had a couple chances, but this chance might be the one that really helps you out.
I'm taking this chance and going all the way with it.